Well. Welcome back. That's how I'm going to start every episode from now on. Well. I'm not going to. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. It's episode 150. We're back after the shortest hiatus ever, even though we basically didn't take a break because a new episode came out last week, but it was banked. But I also had a baby last week. Was that last week or the week before? That was the week before. Dang, man. Things have been happening. I am losing it. You are not wrong.
He's losing it
Being
already.
a dad changes your brain, and I am that dad. I'm Perry. I'm the host of This My Bourbon Podcast. 150 episodes. You think that we would get this intro down by now?
No, it's digressing.
No, absolutely not. With me this week, as he pretty much normally is anymore, it's Swan, formerly the Bourbon Finder. Swan, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you too, man.
Oh my goodness. This is just insane. I can't believe that we're back so soon. Can't believe that I have a baby now. She's happy and healthy. She is unbelievably good. She sleeps through the night for the most part. She just wakes up to eat. She's not fussy. And it was all just culmination, all a bunch of reasons for us to get back to the studio and to record for the 150th episode.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Me too, man.
Yeah. So, we normally start out episodes with a segment called Flying Blind.
We do.
And it's a segment where usually I blind the other person with something. But this week, Swan has blinded me with something.
Yeah, I'm playing the Uno reverse card. Putting that down.
And you told me before we started recording, this is all that you had of this.
Yeah, this is a sample given to me by a friend.
Well, it smells fantastic. It smells real like cookie buttery. That is an amazing nose.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's not like Mahalo Series 2.
Hey, if they did, they stepped their game way up.
way up.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. I'm not used to the microphone settings and everything. I'm constantly adjusting and shifting.
Haven't talked into a microphone in 2 weeks.
It's bizarre.
Figuring it out again?
Does my phone microphone count? Because I've talked into that.
Sure.
All right, cool. Well, welcome back. Let's do this. Cheers. Clink.
Ding. Unique
New York. That's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
So this is 104 proof.
Is it another Russell's single barrel rye?
Is that what you think it is?
No. But for the pregame chats, we did just drink two different Russell's single barrel ryes.
Oh, it was on purpose. Yeah. No, I made sure they're all the same proof, so it's not like crazy
okay.
jumps and up and down. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this a new riff?
No.
I don't know what it is.
This is Smoke Wagon Desert Jewel.
This is good.
Yeah.
We should do a smoke wagon pick sometime.
Yes. You got me there.
Yeah.
Let's go to Nevada.
Man, I am. Well, they can send us samples.
It's true. I still want to go.
Oh, I'm down. I love traveling.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've been to Nevada yet.
Me neither.
Oh, no, I have. I've been to Vegas.
Not even close.
Good stuff. No, this is delicious.
Oh, yeah. I like the nose better than the palate.
Can you divulge who it is that gave this to us?
Oh, yeah. Reynolds, one of my buddies.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, he had a bottle of this.
Yeah.
Told me he was going to shoot himself in the foot a little bit because he had the chance to buy quite a few bottles and just bought two and sold the other one immediately.
This is only the second time that I've had Smoke Wagon. We got a couple of samples from Eric Smith as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the 10-year-old Desert Jewel that everyone was just going crazy over.
I can understand why.
Yeah.
Didn't I give you those Smoke Wagon samples?
Maybe.
I'm 98% sure that I did.
Yeah, I probably have had them, but I didn't have this version of it.
Yeah.
This is my first.
But I'm pretty sure, because he gave me two different sets of samples.
I think we did it as one of the at-home episodes.
That sounds potentially right.
Who knows?
I can't remember.
Either way, Smoke Wagon, yes.
Smoke Wagon, good. Is good. I appreciate Smoke Wagon. Hey, so first off, thank you for doing that Flying Blind there, Swan. Mm-hmm. And thank you, Reynolds, as well. So a couple of things before we get into the episode itself. If you have not yet subscribed, rated, reviewed the podcast, please go ahead and do so. You can do that right in-app, and we will read out any new reviews of the podcast. I don't think we have any this week. I'll go back and check before we get to the end of the show, but I'm pretty sure that we're a little dry on that part.
Yeah.
And you can also become a patron of the show at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. $5 a month, you get bonus content like the pregame chats, the last call. We're going to ease our way back into the last call. Those are always a beast for editing for me. So we'll get back to that sooner rather than later, I think. But there is still a huge backlog of Patreon content over there. And again, I did just have a baby. It's a really great way to support the show. Helps us cover some extra expenses every month. So again, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. If you can help donate to the show, please do that. If not, it's understandable. Just listening and sharing and rating and reviewing, all that stuff helps out a lot as well. Swan, it's been 2 weeks since we've seen each other.
Yeah.
I imagine that the question I'm about to ask you is going to take up a bulk of the episode.
Okay.
It's probably not.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the question.
But it's the question that I ask you every week. What have you been drinking recently?
What have I been drinking?
What you've been drinking?
Everything. Unfortunately, and fortunately, I moved my entire bourbon collection.
You did.
And what ended up happening was, I'm just gonna try it all.
It's the best excuse.
Yeah, so I got a Glencairn and just a little splash. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Little splash, and just kept doing that until I moved everything downstairs and did not have the wherewithal to actually put it up. It just made it to the basement
for the time being.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's down there, and it got moved and finally organized and cleaned off. But I got down there and I was like, it's not going on the shelf. Can't do it. Just gonna sit in my room full of whiskey and just sit here.
The epitome of floor whiskey.
Yes, it was all floor whiskey.
At that point, is it just whiskey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Whiskey floor instead of floor whiskey.
Terrific. I've been drinking a lot of different things as well. I'm glad I finished off that sentence with different things and not just a lot. First pour after Eden was born, the Weller Foolproof pick from the Beaumont Inn. I brought some other samples to the hospital too, but I never really got around to them. I think I had one swig of a Knob Creek single barrel, but even then it wasn't much. But since then, I've just been, I got a bottle of Granddad 114 the other day, some of this Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. I've had a couple of these different Texas whiskeys that were sent to me by Clint Mann. Actually, I want you to try the Brujeria from Balcones.
Okay.
Or Balcones, I don't know. The Iron Root Republic Promethean from 2017. Let's see. I got sent a couple of bottles from the folks over at Douglas and Todd. They sent their small batch bourbon at 93 proof along with their bourbon cream. Both are good products. The bourbon cream is phenomenal. I had it in my coffee the other day. Look, man, I'm gonna admit it. I'm not ashamed to say that I had some in my coffee.
Don't be ashamed.
I'm not.
I just need a theme song. The best part of waking up is bourbon cream in my cup.
Golly, I've had so much. Oh, I got gifted one of the Keeneland bottles of
nice.
Makers. Do you still have any of that left?
No.
All right, we'll have some of this tonight then. I did it. Oh my gosh, I got to do a tour for the first time since February with Distilled Experiences, who is actually one of our sponsors. Well, the sponsor right now. DistilledExperiences.com. Use the code MyBourbonPod. Or is it Bourbon Podcast? I can't remember. Either way, try something. You get 10% off public tours. We haven't talked about it in a long time just because of the pandemic, but that's a thing that you can probably still do. Yeah. Anyway, I got to do a tasting and a tour with a group on this past Saturday, and the tasting consisted of Old Forester Bottled and Bond, 1897, an Angel's Envy blend, not a pick. I mean, it was kind of a pick, but it was like a micro blend from BHG, so the OBC folks, and then Midwinter's Night Dram, Act 4, Scene 2.
Nice.
Stupid good. Stupid good. Best thing I had during that tasting. I think it was the best thing in the tasting. These folks love the Angel's Envy blend as well. It's all sitting right here if you want to try any of it. But
nice.
Yeah. Anyway, there's just so many things. I've just been busy. I've been drinking things. I don't know what this voice is that it's almost Robin Williams. Well, since this is the 150th episode, we're going to be drinking something special later on, reviewing something special later on. We do have some news we need to touch on. I don't want to spend too much time talking about the news.
We could do 45 minutes of the news if we wanted to this week alone.
Yeah, but it's just there's just so much. So we're gonna kind of power through some of it, and then the rest of it, I just kind of want us to be able to hang out, share some memories, some treasures, have some drinks, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So we are just coming off of Old Fashioned Week, which was sponsored by Elijah Craig and Heaven Hill. It was just in celebration of the Old Fashioned cocktail. It was all capped off, excuse me, with a live stream event with Chef Richard Blaze, who hosted an Old Fashioned cocktail hour on the 21st of this month. And I didn't get the chance to tune into it, but Heaven Hill did kind of send a little care package with a bunch of different tools for crafting an old fashioned. Instead of using regular Elijah Craig, I used the Elijah Craig Toasted Barrel, which
nice.
It was interesting. It was different, but it was the last of my bottle that I had. And then you got me another. Oh, that was another thing. You brought over a bottle of Elijah Craig Toasted recently.
I did
as well, which I need to pay you back for. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Okay, I'll get there. I'm sorry. But anyway, really cool. They are using funds from it and to celebrate some awareness as well for the Restaurant Workers Community Foundation. Great thing that is happening in the midst of this insane year. Jim Beam has also revealed a new duty-free only release. It's called Lineage. It's the first Jim Beam release that carries a Freddie Knows name. People kind of were like, but what about Little Book? Well, Little Book isn't like strictly bourbons. This is strictly a bourbon. It's 15 years old, and I'm not finding the proof anywhere. Do you know what the proof is on this, Swanee?
I am looking it up right now.
Help me out. Oh, wait, here it is. 110. Sorry. Apologies. It looks cool. It's $250 a bottle, though. It's a lot.
Better look cool.
Yeah, it better look daggum cool. Oh, I saw a bottle of the Woodford Baccarat.
Yeah,
the other
I
day.
did too. And I saw a Kentucky Owl Dry State.
Yeah, you were texting me about that.
The guy in front of me bought it.
Really? Somebody actually bought it.
$1,000 bought it on the spot.
Holy moly.
She put it in the case. The first guy that saw it bought it.
Wow.
Yep.
That's almost impressive.
It was, I don't know. Okay, so it's impressive. It's less impressive that he was on Facebook already looking to see what the secondary price was.
That's
when he bought it.
There's the issue.
And I'm like,
Didn't we just have an episode on ethics in whiskey hunting?
Yeah, and he even said, he was like, my bank's going to flag my card because that's too much money. So let me go call them. But can you put it back in the case and turn it back around so it's just the back of the box instead? And she was just
too
like,
much, man.
She's like, are you going to buy it? And then he was like, probably. Sure enough, he came back immediately. He was like, just put it up, just put it on this card. Bought the bottle right there.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. It was
What
really cool.
What did he look like? Maybe we could track him down. No, it's a really cool box though.
Dude, it is. The presentation is beautiful. Box. Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting a little irritated with bottles and boxes.
I understand.
Yeah, because that I know someone that's gotten to try that Woodford, and
Yeah.
was overwhelmingly just like,
All right.
cool. Could have been just one of their regular like batch proof bottle style releases, or even just one in the little experimental 375s, and they just wanted to make it special and put it in a $1,800 bottle.
Yeah.
That's hard to justify, man.
Speaking of something that's a little bit hard to justify, the brand new commemorative bottle from Maker's Mark for this year's Breeders' Cup has just been announced as of recording.
You got feelings about this one?
I have feelings about this one because I have had to look at this stupid logo since I was working for a previous company that I'm no longer employed with. It's ugly. It's just bad. It's such a terrible logo. It doesn't make any sense. It's just, ugh. I'm tired of looking at it. But people do like they like the commemorative thing. It's fine. Do whatever you want, but whoever
don't do that.
Whoever designed this logo, somebody needs to take them out back and beat them with a shovel. No, that's not true. Don't do that. I don't encourage violence. But they need to take a good hard look at themselves and consider how they got to the point that they did with this stupid logo. Go look it up. Go look it up and tell me what you think is happening with this logo. It doesn't make any sense. It's way too busy. I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to the listeners. Go look up this logo. Give me a reason why this is good, or give me a reason why you don't mind this. It's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
What's the name of the bottle?
Well, it's the Maker's Mark Breeders' Cup 2020. But, I mean, you could look up Breeders' Cup 2020 logo, and something would come up, too. But, I mean, this is, again, just regular Makers in a fancy-looking bottle. And legitimately, it's like Makers didn't even know what to do with this logo. It's oddly placed. It's really way too small for the bottle itself as well. But overall, just bad. Just a bad logo. Bottle's fine. Whatever. I mean, nobody's buying the bottle for what's in it. They're buying it for the commemoration aspect, but who cares? Hot takes here on the My Bourbon Podcast this week.
See, I just wanted to get you, mad and
You can get me riled up.
Yeah, and then I just left it alone.
Well, it worked because it's bad. It's bad. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Jim Rutledge has a new bourbon out as well.
Smooth transition.
Indeed. It's called Blue Run. It's 13 years old, and apparently it's to reach young people and more diverse people. It's 113 proof. Excuse me. And I'm really interested in trying this. I would love to try this. Here's the problem, though. If you're trying to reach the younger consumers, maybe don't price your bourbon at $170 a bottle.
Yeah, $17.99 is a little better there, buddy. I don't know.
There's only $2,600 bottles, available in the first run. But who's to say, man? This is wild. It's wild to me.
I have not seen anyone do well with bourbon that's specifically targeted for a group of consumers.
Yeah.
It seems like anytime they're like, this is meant for the, female bourbon drinkers.
Yeah.
This is meant for, older men, younger men. The only time I've ever seen them do well is collector, non-collector. That's pretty much the only category I've seen people do well with.
Yeah, absolutely. Fine, whatever. I mean, I'm sure it's good. It's Jim Rutledge, but this is too much money, honestly. I can't. I know it's going to sell out because of Jim Rutledge's legacy, but nobody in the younger people demographic is going to want to buy this for that amount of money. No. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Isn't it bad?
It's my new lock screen.
You are an idiot. Why did you do that to yourself?
Just to,
You're going to have nightmares. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night and vomit because you've looked at your screen for 3 seconds.
I'm going to make this our banner on our Facebook page.
Absolutely not.
Oh, man.
That was a mistake. Episode 150, and I'm rethinking everything.
Man, I think I found a button to push here.
Rabbit Hole also has a new product. It's called Cave Hill. It's a 4-grain bourbon. This is interesting. 70% corn, 10% malted wheat, 10% honey malted barley, and 10% malted barley. No rye. Interesting for a 4-grain product to not include rye. Over 3 years old, 95 proof, $60 a bottle. I've seen this around quite a bit. I don't know. I'd be interested in trying it. Might have to get in contact with our friends over at Rabbit Hole and see if we can get a little sample or something.
I would really like a sample of that limited edition rye that they put out.
I tried.
Oh yeah.
When I was talking to our buddy Adam, who works at Rabbit Hole, I had just straight up asked him. I was like, "Is there any way we can get a sample of it?" And he said there were so few bottles, it was so limited that they basically sent one to Fred Minnick, and then the rest went out for distribution if it wasn't being sold at the distillery.
Yeah.
So
I saw a few people that they did end up giving bottles to, but it was like they gave them whole bottles.
Yeah.
The whole presentation, all of it, and that was just nuts. I mean, good on them. I'm sure they deserved it, but it's just like...
We get plenty of full bottles.
Yeah, but
I mean...
it's like, I don't know. Have you held that thing?
No, I've not even been able to look at it.
It is heavy.
Yeah.
It is dense. They took the labeling that they usually put on the outside of it and actually embossed it into the bottle.
Oh.
And it's like...
That's cool.
And it's squattier, but it's dense, man. It is like holding a brick. It's really cool.
Interesting. Would you like some of this WB Saffel?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hand that to me.
Roger. More news. There is apparently a new Makers coming out next year. It's another one of their limited releases, FAE 01. I think it's a finish with 10 virgin toasted American oak staves. 100.5 proof.
I'm calling it Fay 1.
Fay 1.
Fay 1.
This bottle is so fay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hate myself for that. We're going to kind of run through these bottles and these labels real quick here. Baker's apparently is getting a 12.5-year-old single barrel. People are speculating that this is going to be the beginning of a barrel selection program for Baker's.
Bring it on.
Still at 107 proof. I'm here for it. Yeah. Apparently there are a couple of Taylor bottles as well that could be popping up here in the near future. The first one is Boone County White Corn. I don't know. I don't really know what that means. I mean, fine, whatever. And the other one is Japonica. I really don't know. Striped corn. So I guess it's going to have an impact on the overall flavor of the product once it actually comes out. I don't know. I mean, it's been kind of hit or miss recently, the Taylor special bottles, but I don't know. What do you think?
I'm not going to see them.
Nah.
I mean, it's
definitely
cool.
Not. I'll probably be able to taste it eventually, but still.
Yeah. I got another one to add.
Yeah, go for it.
Stag Junior's going to be doing single barrel selections in 2021.
Yeah, we never actually got to talk about that. That came out right as we were going on our 2-week hiatus.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that one's fun because I would love to do that. I think that'd be great.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Because you're already tasting everything at barrel strength when you go in to Buffalo Trace for a pick.
You are. But, can I be honest? I don't care about Stag Junior picks. I just hope it forces Heaven Hill to start doing Elijah Craig
barrel picks.
Barrel picks and barrel proof.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't say that I'm not interested in a Stag Junior barrel pick. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I would be all for it. Again, we'll probably never see one. If we do, it'll be in somebody else's hands as they're walking out of the liquor store. But I don't know.
It's a fun idea. It's a fun notion.
But yeah, I mean, this could be paving the way for more barrel-proof single barrel picks from the big sellers.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'd like a rare breed single barrel.
Yeah. Yes.
Please. Yes, please. Speaking of Wild Turkey, Russell's Reserve 2003 is now out. 16 years old and, oh my goodness, I can't do that math. 44.75% ABV, $250, 16 years old. Did I say 16 years old already? I might have, I don't know. 3,600 bottles.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. Definitely want to try it. I wasn't a big fan of the 2001.
2002.
2002, whatever
Yeah.
it was. I can't remember.
No, it was just really oaky. Like, it took a certain kind of person that was really won that level of oakiness.
Yeah, for sure. Widow Jane 10-year-old Decadence is apparently a new product coming out from Widow Jane. It's a finished blend of bourbons from Kentucky and Tennessee. 10 years old, 91 proof, $80 a bottle. Out now, 3,300 bottles in this first batch. It's finished in maple syrup barrels.
Ooh, okay. More interested now.
Yeah, from Crown Maple. I don't know what's Crown Maple. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Crown Royal?
No, it says Crown Maple. It says it's in the Hudson Valley. I don't know. I legitimately don't know. The next bottle in the vertical for Pinhook Bourbon, Bourbon War, 5-year-old, is coming out as well. 104 proof, $50 out, 36,000 bottles. Very cool. Nice to see that many bottles are out there for this one. Let's see what else. Did we talk about Michter's 25 a couple weeks ago?
We didn't, no.
Yeah, well, that's out there. It's $1,000 a bottle.
Surprise.
What is that? 116.2 proof? Sure, fine. Limited edition. I'm excited kind of about this next one, though. Blackened cask strength. Kind of cool. This is apparently batch 106. It's blended whiskey. There's from many different locations. Out now, $55, and also 110.7 proof. Hey, I can do math sometimes. Only available in Kentucky and Florida. Looking forward to trying that eventually. My goodness, we have a lot of bottles we have to talk about in a very short amount of time. Barrell Armida is a new product coming out from the Barrell company.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now.
Yeah. It is non-age stated. It's Tennessee bourbon. $90 a bottle, limited, out now, and it's 112.1 proof. 3 Tennessee bourbons, each finished separately in Jamaican rum, pear brandy, and Sicilian Amaro casks. Interesting. He named Joe Beatrice from Barrell named this after his mother. How cool.
Nice.
Great name. Armida. I like that. Might have to tell Lucy that we're changing Eden's name to Armida. I'm kidding. Penelope also has a rosé cask finished bourbon, interestingly enough. $65 and 94 proof, 2,400 bottles. Boy, I really nailed that one on the head, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what happens when you take 2 weeks off, Swan. That's what happens.
I'll never let you do it again.
Yeah, I'm aware. A couple of TTB labels as well. The newest Bardstown Bourbon Company Discovery Series at 115 proof, 55% Kentucky 13-year, 37% Kentucky 15-year, and 8% Kentucky 10 years. All apparently from different distilleries. This is Discovery Series number 4. Excited for this one to come out. I'm assuming next year or maybe at the end of this year. I don't know. Truly, I don't know. Whistle Pig Piggy Bank Rye. 100 proof, 10 years old. It's a blend of straight rye whiskeys. I am excited for this as well. Is this not the one that they blended earlier this year?
I'm not sure. They did the piggyback, not piggy bank, right?
Yeah, maybe this is another thing
Just a
in the
completely
same
different
vein.
thing.
I don't
Yeah.
know. And then last but not least, Backbone Bourbon, Anniversary Edition. Uncut, 90... What? Uncut at 90 proof? That seems awfully specific. Very strange. I love the text on the back label. 10 years ago, we launched Uncut, one of the first small batch whiskeys to be bottled at barrel strength.
Nice. Descriptive.
No.
To the point.
No, it wasn't. You're all liars. 10 years later, Uncut has endured, and we still haven't added a drop of water.
That's how that works.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. Yeah, that's it.
No, one more.
One more?
Old Charter, Canadian Oak.
Oh.
It's a new release they just put out the other day.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah. So it looks like they're adding to that lineup of things you'll never see.
I think I've only ever seen one of those bottles in person just because I was like at a tasting or something. I can't even remember.
I paid a pretty good amount to try the Mongolian Oak at OBC.
How'd you like it?
It's okay.
Sure.
It's not really like wildly different. I guess when I hear different kinds of wood, I immediately assume this is going to be crazy. Yeah. And then it's just a little different.
Yeah.
So,
how about this WB Saffel, by the way? I like it. I like it a lot.
Big fan of everything we've had today.
Not had anything bad. No.
All good.
So 150 episodes, huh? The unceremonious transition into talking about what we've done over the past 150 episodes.
A lot. I'll be honest. It's kind of the nature of drinking. I don't remember a lot of it.
It's all kind of blurred together.
Yeah.
This year, I will say, I had such high hopes at the beginning of the year. And I know that, you start every year and you're like, this is going to be my year. This is it. This is mine. And like, it just wasn't.
No.
And I'm not trying to be a downer or anything, but it's like, it just didn't turn out the way that we thought it was going to. And, doing all of those remote episodes that you, Curtis, and I did, that all really blended together. Mm-hmm. For the most part, I can't remember what we did during that time.
No.
But
I don't know. I mean, you also got to look at the positives. So look at what all we've done this year. We've gotten a lot more press samples that we can share with our audience and kind of give some feedback on, let you guys know what to hunt, what to look for. Kind of introduce the news segment, which has brought a lot of people into the know for a lot of whiskey releases and stuff
absolutely.
That they didn't want to dig through the TTB to find.
Yeah.
You've done some collaborations with some great people. We've got glassware coming out. We're doing our first pick.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This week we're doing our first barrel pick.
Yeah. I mean,
it's nuts.
Even though this month or this year was like January, February, it's October now.
That is how it's felt.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we've got plenty of fun stuff going on.
We do. That's true. And, 100 episodes, 150 episodes ago was not the same show that it is now.
No.
I would argue that those first couple of episodes are unlistenable.
Okay, but nobody gets excited about building blocks, but everyone's excited about a house. I mean,
that's a great phrase there.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you
I
for
mean,
that.
if somebody dropped an entire pallet of bricks into a random empty lot, everybody'd be like, "Oh, okay, some bricks." If they put up a brand new house in 150 days, it's like, awesome. Can I move in?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I think the big turning point for the show was once I figured out that I can do interviews pretty well. I'm a good interviewer. I can talk to people. I can have a conversation. And as soon as that clicked, it was like, oh, I'm gonna keep doing this. Because initially it was like, we're just gonna hang out. We're gonna have some drinks, and we're gonna, shoot the breeze, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be the majority of what we do. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to festivals and talking to everybody in the industry, and trying so many different products and exploring vintage whiskeys as well. And it's become so much more than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
On the outset. And look at us now. You're not even one of the original co-hosts.
No. For the first 30 something episodes, I think I was literally just, hey, I found this. Do you want it? Hey, I found this. Do you want it?
And you were on a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you were kind of sitting in the back, and you were this mythical character too. You're like Swan the Bourbon Finder. If you've not followed Swan the Bourbon Finder on Instagram, you need to go follow Swan the Bourbon Finder. Yeah. He finds bourbons, which you did for a long time. You had some really good success with hunting.
I did this week too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I got a Four Roses limited edition. I got what's that one over there that you liked so much? Midwinter's Night Dram.
Oh, yeah.
Got one of those. Old Forester's 150th, all at retail.
Nice.
So, fun stuff, man.
Not all for yourself, though.
None of them are for me.
See, that's the thing about, that's the thing about you as the bourbon finder. You've never really gone out, aside from a couple of releases.
Yeah.
But you've never really gone out for yourself. You're hunting for other people.
Yeah. Yeah. I got the E.H. Taylor lineup, like of the originals, and then I was just like happy. I haven't really done much since then. And like recently, it's been probably once every 2 or 3 months, I'll come across a really good vintage bottle, and I'll be like, anybody want this?
Yeah.
So it's been nice.
You've kind of got one of those on the docket as well.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe we'll get to talk about eventually.
Yeah.
What? Here's something interesting that maybe it's interesting. Interesting, subjective. I did not come into this feeling like I was going to like Wild Turkey products so much.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I was and it was very much a product of its time, but Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond, Bullet. What else was I drinking back then? Elijah Craig.
Yeah, until some news hit, you were a real big Bullet guy.
Yeah.
Real big.
Yeah. That was what I hung my cap on, proverbial or otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I still like Bullet to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have Four Roses, but I mean, I really like the Blender Select that came out this year from Bullet. I thought that was a great product. But yeah, my tastes have definitely changed since we started out. I've also gotten really tired of the hunt.
Yeah, that's something. Okay,
that's kind of one of the reasons that you stopped the bourbon finding.
Yeah, but 2020 has been awesome for this so far. There's less people in liquor stores. There's less people concerned about showing up on truck days, and they won't allow you to gather anyways. And then also, Liquor Barn, Total Wine, and others have been like, no one needs to be standing outside in the cold, all huddled up. We are not giving out 1,000 tickets for Pappy. Just sign up. And so I get an email today, and it's literally just like, just here, give us your contact information. We'll tell you if you won. You're like, what am I looking to win? They're like, we'll just tell you if you won. just don't tell you. You might win the ability to come in and buy a bottle of regular Maker's Mark. Who knows? Like, I mean,
Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Come get some Evan Williams eggnog.
Yeah. But I mean, that's so nice because I mean, I could literally sit at home and win potentially 2 Pappy 23s. Not that I'm going to, but
yeah, right.
And then just get an email and roll up. And I could probably even ask, hey, can I just get this car side? And they'll just bring it out to me.
That's wild to me.
That's insane compared to last year where we were, all huddled up and I'm sitting there like, I'm going to get a bottle of Old Forester birthday bourbon. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it 4 hours later. And then there's me. And I'm like, all right, we're out of everything except for Makers 101. And I'm just like, crap. And half the people in that group just walked back to their car. And there was easy 400 of us just waiting for a name to be called or a little ticket to be called.
Yeah. But yeah, I do like the fact that this has shown people that we can do something a little bit differently this year. Yeah,
the hunt's been draining, but I think if I had to go back and kind of, I don't know, I was a little biased when I first started the podcast. I was really big on Buffalo Trace.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it was mostly because I grew up down the road from Buffalo Trace, and same with Old Granddad. But I have absolutely just gone head over heels for Wild Turkey and Knob Creek stuff. Yeah, and Heaven Hill. And Heaven Hill. For me as well. Yeah. I'm definitely in the same camp as you at this point. Mm-hmm. But and honestly, I don't know if it would be the same if all of those Buffalo Trace products were still widely available. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I would still be a Buffalo Trace stan, if that were the case. But at the same time, I mean, there's just so much more good stuff out there to drink, and I don't
feel the need to stress out about finding a bottle of Special Reserve or, you know, Blanton's or whatever. I will say, though, I'm getting increasingly frustrated that there's not as much Elijah Craig Barrel Proof out there as I would like.
Yes.
Those bottles need to not be allocated.
People have figured out that is the go-to. Like, they are grabbing it up.
Uh-huh. It's getting obnoxious.
It is. It's
getting really obnoxious. Mm-hmm. And I'm running low. My supply is running very, very low right now. Yeah. So I need to restock. I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago, too. I don't have any Bookers left. I'm all out of Bookers.
Yeah.
Like, I'd take Blue Knight's batch at this point.
Well, I mean, if you can find the 2020-3, have you heard the rumors on that one? So the rumor floating around right now is they are actually not sending any of it out and skipping directly to the 2020-04.
Why?
Apparently,
would they do that?
It did not pass quality control. So they are not. They weren't happy enough with the product to put it out. They've named the batch. It's hit some places as far as like the Cask Cartel and stuff, but it says it's out of stock.
Sure.
And I've not seen anyone post about it.
So why not just make 2020-04 the 2020-03 release?
I don't know.
I guess maybe it's already been.
I guess if they named
TTB
it
approved or whatever.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't looked in a long time to confirm any of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a complete rumor, and so the only backing I've seriously seen from it is there's quite a few people saying they've asked distributors, and that's the answer they got, and it was all posted on Reddit.
Pigskin batch.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. Truly, I don't know.
But it should be out by now. I've not seen it.
No, it should be.
Yeah, and I asked a couple of people at Total Wine, and they've all said that they don't have it at the warehouse.
That is bonkers. I had no idea about this.
Yeah, so if you can find the pigskin batch, please write to us.
Please.
We would love to try it.
Yeah.
It's nowhere to be found.
Man, everything is saying that it's out of stock.
Mm-hmm.
Notify me when available. Man. Is that unprecedented?
They've not skipped one.
Yeah.
That I know of. I know they've had smaller batches of things. And I've seen them, there's been years that they've done 6 of them, but I've never seen them skip one.
Well, I think of Booker's 30th, too. I mean, they changed that almost at the 11th hour.
They did, yeah. They went from a full 16-year to a 9 and a 16-year blend.
So why couldn't they have done something like that with this?
Who knows? I mean, it could have been that they made some of the bottles, they started sending it out, and then they were just like, we got to pull it. This is not it. And there's just a very limited supply that's out. They took the rest of it and decided to, blend it further or to, blend it into just like a regular release of theirs or what. I mean, who knows?
Now, and again, to qualify this, or clarify.
Complete rumor.
It's all rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. I mean, there's no reason why this should be fully believed.
Yeah.
But, it's really strange. And you bring up a good point. I hadn't even thought about the fact that I haven't seen it anywhere.
Yeah.
But there's still plenty of 01 and 02 out right now.
There's tons of 02 out.
Yeah.
And the last time that they had one sit this long on the shelf, it was because they trademarked the name that they put on there, the Kentucky Chew batch. If you look on that, it's actually got a little TM over it, so they made a ton of it. So Kentucky didn't see that 4th batch for a little while, or the 3rd batch for a little while, because we just had so much of it in our warehouses. It took a while to kind of cycle through.
Man, that was a great batch, though.
It is.
Look at that. It does have a TM.
Yep.
That's hilarious. I never would have even noticed that if you hadn't brought it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they've officially trademarked the Kentucky Chew.
Fair enough. Oh. Okay, then. Now, I've just, to kind of get us back on topic, and I don't want to spend too much time harping on this because we do have a review, but it's been a lot of fun doing this podcast for 150 episodes.
Yeah.
And truthfully, this is now kind of our 3-year anniversary as well. I can't believe that it's been 3 years. I can't believe that it's been 150 episodes. We've missed a week here and there for one reason or another, but man, oh man, this has just been one of the more special projects that I've been able to work on, and the fact that it's all been self.
Yeah, it's your own, man.
Yeah, but I don't even know what the word is or the phrase is for it. Self-guided? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Self-something.
Self-something.
Yeah, and just for some insight, I show up at Perry's house once a week and drink and talk into a mic, and an episode comes out on Wednesday. I'm here.
Yeah, and you would not believe, too. I mean, I spend a long time editing.
Yeah.
I mean, I make sure that everything sounds as pristine as it can, and I mean, there are. I know where the edits are. I know where the cuts are.
Yeah.
But most people, there's no way they would be able to know. But regardless, yeah, it's been fun to be creative, and it's been fun to continue to do this as long as we have. And one of the things that I've been saying since the beginning is we're going to do this as long as we can. And I don't think that I've reiterated that in a while, but I think that that's kind of been proven with the way that we've approached things this year, that we wanted to keep pushing forward, and we wanted to keep creating episodes and making content and showing you guys that, you know, we enjoy being in this space, not just with each other, but also with the listeners. And I'm very thankful for you, Swan, and Curtis, and Tanner as well, who's of course no longer a part of the show, but would like to. It's literally been a year since we recorded the 100th episode, and we said, hey, we're going to bring you back sometime, and we haven't had a chance to bring him back yet. But I mean, that's extenuating circumstances. But you know, Chad and Sarah from It's Bourbon Night, Fred Minnick, Dixon Deadman, the guys from the podcast. I mean, like, the list just goes on and on and on of people that we have had such great support from, and folks that, you know, continue to show us that they care about what we're doing. And if I can be very upfront and honest, you guys, the listeners, everybody who listens every week, even if you're new, and you share it with the show or share it with your friends and whatnot, it's just the best. It's just the best. And I'm just so thankful for you all. And, yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. Just thank you.
Yeah.
That's it. But I'd like to drink something else.
Let's do it. So we poured a little something.
We did, to adjust our palates.
Yes.
And we are going to be, and what we poured, was the Old Forester Signature, the 100 proof. What we're going to be reviewing is the Old Forester, and if this felt highly appropriate for the occasion, the 150th anniversary batch 1. This one is 125.6 proof. You and I tried this last week.
Yes.
We did. We tried it alongside this year's birthday bourbon. Birthday bourbon was actually the first thing that I got to try when I came home from the hospital with Eden. Sorry, cleaning up my glass. And, you know, I'm excited for us to get into reviewing this. This was a sample that was sent to us free of charge from Old Forester themselves, and our review itself is not going to be influenced by that or reflect the fact that this was free. So, disclaimer up the top. This, like I said, it felt appropriate that we were doing a 150th anniversary release for our 150th episode. It's an LE. It's allocated. I've seen people say that they never expected to see a bottle of this anywhere. And I'm just, I'm I'm excited for us to get into this. Swan, what do you think about the nose?
Let's go in. Ooh. It's kind of got like a banana nut bread with like some nuts on it. A little cinnamon. Very baking spice heavy.
There's, brushing up against the mic. There's a savory note in there as well.
I'm not getting too much savory.
Well, I think that it's kind of, it's present, but I don't think that it's overly so.
Yeah.
It's just kind of tucked into the back of the nose. This is one of the best noses I've ever had on an Old Forester product.
Same. Yeah, no, this is probably the best nose I've had in an Old Forester product.
And truly, probably Brown-Forman in general.
That's where I'm leaning, because
Yeah.
I've not had anything from Woodford that has stood up to be this strong.
No. What about Jack Daniels, though?
It's not a bourbon according to them, so I mean,
I like it. I like the nose.
I did get a weird note in it though.
I just got a weird note as well.
What'd you get?
It's something astringent. I couldn't really pick up exactly what it was.
I got bubble gum. But it's not necessarily like bubble gum.
Yeah.
It's like that powdery stuff on the
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Bubblegum powder.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't taste any, like, I don't ever taste it, but like when you open up the package, you smell it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of that real faint bubblegum thing. I don't know. There's a lot going on in this nose.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to dive into the palate.
Let's do it. Cheers to 150 episodes, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It goes real, like, dark chocolate s'mores on the palate.
It does.
Oh, my gosh, that's so good.
It's almost got like a hickory, like wood chip.
Absolutely.
Kinda.
Hickory smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it. Still one of the best Brown-Forman products I've had.
Yeah. I will say it's almost an attack of the senses. Like it is a lot of flavor. I'm so used to their stuff being kind of muted and then just having a banana note.
Okay.
I don't know. This is a lot. I'm going to try it next to the signature.
It is a lot, but I still think that it's got a delicacy to it as well.
Yeah.
I don't think that anything's like beating me over the head, I guess. You know what I mean? He's thinking.
It's just hard to know that these are even the same brand.
Really?
Other than just that kind of banana nut bread thing going on. Doing them side by side, it's hard to tell they're the same.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. This goes very savory, like dark. You know, you pointed out the s'mores. I get some of that. This is the second bourbon I've had like this that I've unfortunately had to describe as like Stag Junior, but without some of the forgiving qualities. Like it's to me
okay.
it's hot. So Stag Junior has always had this kind of like, I don't want to say rum, but like kind of a, you know, plummy, sugary something that kind of breaks up that just real heaviness.
Yeah.
This just doesn't really have that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But this is like, this feels like it needs to go with something. Like this needs to go with dinner.
That's a really good point, actually.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like it needs some of that balance. That being said, this is far and away one of the best Brown-Forman products I've ever had.
I agree. I think it's definitely one of the best, if not the best, Old Forester products I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I need to take another sip of the 150th because I was starting to formulate opinions, but it was all based on the signature. I was like, that's not where I wanted to go with this.
I'm getting a lot more chocolate on the nose now.
That banana nut bread is so present at the front end of the palate.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's much more muted on the second sip.
Yeah. I'm starting to get more fruit throughout the palate into the finish as well this time. Like very berry heavy.
See, I'm not getting a ton of that. I'm still getting a lot of like hickory smoke.
No, I'm still getting smoke, but there's a berry note that I wasn't anticipating before. Or excuse me, I wasn't getting before. And now it's definitely around. I think the finish is definitely the weak point on this one.
The finish is a lot. So it's like, I don't know how to explain it. The finish on a lot of these real high proof ones for me is always kind of like oily honey, that kind of thing. I enjoy it. It sticks around. This one's like,
it's almost,
you know, like it almost makes you cough a little.
It's almost waxy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? There's kind of like a denser quality to it.
This, I don't know. I feel like this would have been a really good candidate for wine finishing.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, just to kind of take some of that edge off because, man, it is so strong, the first 75, 80%.
Yeah.
But that last 20% is a little abrasive for me. And like I said, the finish is not bad. It's just like, as a person that's a proof hound, I'm still like kind of struggling to not cough and
I don't disagree with that.
Really delve into it.
Yeah. There's not much of a hug really. If there is, it's light.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise you. It's fine.
Yeah.
I think overall the finish is pretty much fine. It's $150 a bottle.
It is, yes. So, I have some strong opinions about the price. Opinions about the price. But we'll go through everything first.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we got a rating system, Perry.
We do have a rating system. Each category, well, there's 4 categories. It's nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5, and then we tally the score up for a final score out of 20. What would you give the nose on this one, Swan?
Nose, 4.5. I think it's the strongest part of this.
I'm a little bit lower. I'm going to give it a 4. I like it, but I'm not over the moon about it. I do think it's above average for sure. I think the proof is really what's carrying it as far as enjoyability. That being said, I like it. I don't love it. I really like it, I would say.
Yeah.
But it is enjoyable. I don't find myself disliking the nose by any means. It's just kind of there. But that's not even what I'm saying. No, it's more than that. It's more than that. Can you tell my brain's not working after a couple of weeks off?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you pointed out that drinking and talking into a mic are two very different things.
They are two very different things. That's why we had to do the pregame chat warm-up.
Yeah, that was more for us than it was for you guys.
What about the palate, Swanee?
Palate, I'm going to give a 3.5.
Yeah, I'm right there. I'm right there with you.
Really like the palate. You know, I don't feel like this is going to be one that you pour, half a Glencairn and sit down over a night. This is definitely like I'm going to pour 2 ounces, enjoy it, and then a month later come back, pour 2 ounces, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's like a different bourbon on sip 1, 2, and 3 is great, and the palate is where that really shines. You get a lot of different stuff each time you go back in.
But it is still so indicative of Brown-Forman products. I still am getting predominantly banana bread. That is the main flavor that I am picking up on this.
And that's fine, because I love banana bread.
No, I do too. But I would expect it to be a little bit deeper at this price and at this proof. Again, I don't dislike this, but I think that it's a little bit more 1 or 2 note, but just bolder.
Yes.
It's not where it's not being cut by water to achieve a more sellable flavor profile or just proof point in general. I think that it just takes it and really bulks it up. But I just don't think that it goes in a different direction enough to where I would be overly impressed by it.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I actually really like it. I feel like it's got enough different things that you can get on each sip. The first one's rough. But, I mean, that kind of s'mores quality, a little banana bread, I'm all for it. Baked goods,
Sure.
you're hitting my wheelhouse right there. So it's going to be ranked a little higher for me. Finish, though, I gave it a 3.
I actually gave it a 2.5.
2.5. I think I'm liking this one a little better than you are.
You definitely are.
I don't know. The finish is, it's fine. It, like I said, it's kind of abrasive, but it's a lot of good flavors. Just the physical, like, mouthfeel becomes a lot.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I mean, this is putting me in that territory where, like, man, I feel like if I just burped really loud once, it would just feel better, you know?
Just get that gas out.
Yeah, but by no means is it bad.
No, it's not. I just am left wanting a little bit more.
Yeah.
With it. And again, at 2.5, I think that's indicative of it. It's very middle of the road. There's not a lot going on for me to where I get overly excited about going back for another sip. I think it's a pretty short finish too. I don't know. I'm not overly impressed by it. At this point, I'm sitting at a 10 out of 20.
Yeah.
The price on this one, again, is $150. Funny enough, I'm going to give it a 3.5. I don't think that it's a horrible price point for this type of LE, especially considering that there are 2 other bottles that you could get that would complement this or complete the collection.
Yeah.
Do I think it could be a little bit lower? Absolutely. I think that it would probably perform a little better at 100 or 125. But at 150, I think it's appropriate.
Yeah. I even gave it higher than that. I gave it a 4.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to be significantly higher than I am then
I think
in
that
our ranking
puts
system.
me at a 15.
Yeah, I'm at a 13.5.
Yeah.
So I guess not that much higher.
On
But
our
still.
scale, it's enough. Yeah, that's pushing you over the edge of a kind of a must-buy if you see it kind of deal.
Well, this is, for me, more of a go try it at a bar. Or if you know somebody who has a bottle of it, you know, give them a little, hey, can I try some of that? Can I try some of that Old Forester? Because I don't see myself going out and buying one of these, but I like the concept behind it, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah. For me, it's more like if you've got the funds and the bottle's there,
Sure.
I'd buy it.
Yeah.
I don't have the funds right now.
Hey, me neither.
I just don't. Christmas is coming up, and if I spend that much money on whiskey, someone's going to look at me and go, "You doofus, punk." Hit me in the head.
Should have had a V8.
Yeah. No, I just honestly think it's really unique. So there's not many bourbons that I go on the Dickel Bottled and Bond rant with, where I'm just like, oh, but it's so unique.
Oh,
It won this award.
Yeah.
This is one I would go on with that rant. I think it is unique enough to justify it. I can't think of a single other expression that hits all of these, and the closest one I can come up with is Woodford Batch Proof and Jack Daniel's Bottled and Bond, Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof single barrels. Some of them kind of hit in that same territory, but I mean, you may buy 3 or 4 of those bottles before you find one close to this.
Yep.
And at that point, you've spent substantially more because they're like 50, 60 a piece. Mm-hmm. Again, this is the batch 1 of 3, so A, I guess.
Yeah.
If you can find it. They've all got very, very specific tasting notes, and everyone is very torn on which one's their favorite of the bunch, which usually means they're all freaking good.
Sure.
So I
or
think
they're all grasping at straws trying to figure out which one they actually like.
Exactly. So I definitely recommend picking it up if you've got the funds. And it's available.
I think it's a great piece for a collection. I wouldn't be upset about having it. It's not something I would come back to regularly at all. All that being said, good product. Thank you again to Old Forester for sending us this. And thanks for the little sample of birthday bourbon as well, because it was perfect. It was perfect. So, yeah, that's our review of Batch 1 of the 150th anniversary release for Old Forester. It's time for Tips and Bits.
It's time for Tips and Bits.
We review nothing in this segment. We recommend things. That's what we actually do.
Yes.
It's not always bourbon related, but sometimes it can be. I'm exclusively not bourbon related this week. Anything you want to tip and or bit to our listeners, Swanee?
Yes. Do you or have you watched Bert Kreischer stand up?
I have watched only the Russian mafia bit.
Okay.
That floats around on Facebook from
Okay.
time to time.
I think he's pretty good. He's not my favorite comedian in the world, but I'm a big fan of one of the people he collaborates with a lot, Tom Segura.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, love that dude. Think he's phenomenal. Just classic, like dead in the eyes, but hilarious. Just it's hard to believe everything that comes out of his mouth, but he's just nuts. But Tom Segura is on the first episode of one of these Bert Kreischer Netflix shows that just came out, and I was like, well, I'll give it a try. Show is hilarious.
Great.
It's called The Cabin with Bert Kreischer.
Yep.
Just the stupidest concept I've ever seen in my life. He just decides, I'm going to go in the middle of nowhere and detox, just me, just in the woods, calm down, relax from my hectic life of being an on-the-road comedian. So his solution to that is, I'm going to invite other comedians to come up here with me, and I'm going to make content.
Makes sense.
And it's just stupid. I mean, he does stuff that I can't repeat on this podcast without getting an explicit tag.
That's reserved for our other podcast. This is my podcast.
Oh, wow. But I mean,
sorry, I had to bleep that out there for our listening audience.
It's just funny. Like the first episode is funny, and then the second one just gets insane.
Awesome.
Yeah, like I don't want to call it a cold open, but you watch it and you tell me what you think. I mean, it's
all right.
Yeah, the second episode's wild.
Yeah, fair enough. I am kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum of things that I've been watching recently, because for whatever, and this has never been me. I've never been like, oh, spooky season, gotta watch spooky movies. But man, I have just been all about horror movies the past few weeks. So I kicked it off with Brightburn. Which, do you know anything about Brightburn?
I don't.
So it's basically what would happen if Superman came to Earth, but he was evil.
Okay.
Still raised by a pretty down-to-earth Kansas couple, right? But inherently, he's just a villain. Okay? So it's a horror. It's like a kind of like a body horror a little bit. I mean, there's some pretty grotesque scenes in it, but mostly it's just kind of a psychological deal. Seeing how this kid tries to figure out who he is as he's growing up in a world that, you know, of course is not conducive to his personality and everything, but I really liked it. There were a couple issues that I had with it, but overall it was really good. I really enjoyed it. There's some really cool stuff at the end too that, and I'm not going to give too much away, but it kind of teases like a bigger universe or a bigger world than just him, which I would love to see a sequel to. This came out in it came out last year. It came out in 2019. So I'm sure that there are still people talking about whether or not they would make a sequel to it, but I would be all for it. I think it would be super, super cool. Trying to think. I've watched a bunch of horror movies, spooky movies. The Mothman Prophecies with Richard Gere. pretty good. Not out of this world, but solid. Came out in the early 2000s. It Chapter 1 from 2017.
Nice.
Not watched the second one just yet. I haven't had a chance to, but the first one was chef's kiss. Real good. Really, really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I was so into it. Let's see. Oh, we watched Hubie Halloween, the new Adam Sandler movie. Have you seen it yet?
No, I haven't.
It's fine.
That's every Adam Sandler movie.
I agree with that. I've never watched an Adam Sandler movie, even the ones that people love, and gone, this is one of the best things I've ever seen. It's just not in my wheelhouse. And I'm not saying that it's not in other people's, but I just don't. He's just not for me, man.
Do you have a favorite Adam Sandler movie? Out of his catalog of 4,000?
Maybe The Waterboy. I've not seen Uncut Gems yet.
Waterboy's good. I like Click.
That cinematic masterpiece from the mid 2000s.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just like it. I think it's funny.
Oh, that's funny. That's not what I was expecting from you.
Oh man.
No, I still would like to see Uncut Gems. I haven't gotten to do that yet. We watched both Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and Nightmare Before Christmas yesterday with Eden.
Man, you're just soaking it up.
Dude, I'm all about it. It's spooky season, man. Why do you think my name's Scary Ritter? Why do you think that you're Swan?
I feel like you've gone into full dad mode, and you're like, I have to really put emphasis on every holiday because there's somebody in this house that's learning the holidays. And that's awesome, but I'm terrified for Christmas for you.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. You're not entirely wrong, because the other day I did think, should I dress up as Santa Claus for Christmas this year?
Christmas is going to be...
That's a legitimate thought that crossed my mind. And she'll be 2 months old by the time Christmas rolls around.
Do you know how many parents take their kids to Disney World before they can even think for themselves, before they can say anything? There should never be a stroller rental at Disney World. What can you do if you're in a stroller? But people still take their kids,
pushed
man.
around, I guess.
Yeah, people still take their kids. It's all about the experience. It's just as much about you having fun as it is her having fun, man. Get into it. I'm here for that.
But I feel like next year would... I don't know.
Make it every year. Why not?
She comes out of the corner and she goes, "Hi, Daddy."
Yeah, if she leaves the house at 18 to go off to college, you got 18 of these, man. Make it fun every year.
What a ridiculous concept, though.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, it's me, Santa Claus.
See, my favorite idea is you going to bed on Thanksgiving, just like, oh man, I'm so full. And she's like, all right, have a good night, Dad. And you come out the next morning, and boom, full Santa costume. Hey, let's go. It's Christmas time. You got a whole month of this shit.
Being a dad's fun, though.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
You're going to decorate this house like Elf.
I got to be careful not to.
Yeah.
Because the animals would destroy it.
They'll have a great time, too. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but then I would have to clean it all up.
That's true.
Hey, I'll also recommend... this is a little bit more personal, but take care of your significant other. Just take care of them. We had some pretty nasty complications post baby birth, and it was really tough. It was really, really hard for me to see Lucy go through what she did, and I don't know what else to say. Just take care of each other. If you're in a relationship, help that person out. If you're not, help people around you out, because not everything is all glitter and rainbows and sunshine and daisies and whatnot. But it's okay. Things get better, even when it doesn't seem like they will. But at the same time, just I don't know. Take care of each other. We talked about it 2 weeks ago as well. Just take care, please. Take care of your significant other if you have one. but that's it. I like being a dad. I like getting to be a dad with my wife as well. Having a partner with it.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's good stuff. Yeah, 150 episodes.
We did it, man.
We did it. I feel like we kind of squeaked through this one, but
We'll be back at 200.
yeah.
Squeak through that one, too.
Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee, Rick. I'm cutting that one out.
Leave it in. Put it at the beginning.
No.
Cold intro.
Cold outro.
Oh.
Is that a hot outro?
No.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Hey, thank you all so much for listening with us for 150 episodes. Man, I can't even speak. 3 years on. This is just, again, so cool. I'm so thankful that we get to do this every week. And I guess we're getting back to our normal recording schedule. So that's pretty exciting. Hopefully. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but we're getting there.
If you hear an episode of us reviewing Benchmark, Barry had baby stuff coming up. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Or I had a rough couple of days at work.
There we go.
Who's to say? But we do have a bunch of banked stuff that will come out eventually one way or another. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe once we get into the holidays, we can try to do some stuff like that as well. Get some of those episodes out. But I think we're going to be moving full steam ahead with recording as usual. So I'm pretty pumped for it, Swan. That does it for this week. Where can people find you on social media?
At Swan TBF on Instagram.
Yeah, I am at PRaider1492 on all social media channels. Marie is celebrating our 150th episode as well in the background. And if you want to follow up with the show itself, it is at My Bourbon Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can leave us a 5-star rating and review on the iTunes podcast app. And we don't have any reviews to read out this week, but maybe next week if we're coming back for our normal recording session. You can find all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com, including but not limited to shirts, face masks, and the one thing I like to keep bringing up, skateboards. Still one of the weirder things that we have in our category or our catalog, but still,
Why
it's
not?
there. Yeah, why the heck not? Phone cases too.
Don't drink and skate.
I feel like we say that all the time, but regardless. You can send us questions or comments to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. You can also leave us a voicemail for our Barrel Ring segment, which happens every now and then at 859-428-8253. Leave us a comment, a question, a thought, a feeling. I don't know, something. And we'll respond to it here on air. It's always fun when we get to listen to those. It's always fun. If you have, you know what, if you have a favorite memory of the past 150 episodes, leave us a voicemail. 859-428-8253. That's for Barrel Rings. Yeah. You can become a part of our Facebook group. You just head to facebook.com, search for This Is My Bourbon Group, and it's a really fun little community. We have a great time talking about what we've been drinking recently. We like to tag somebody named Adam Terry in bottles that we've found recently, and whether or not they're good deals. So if you want to do that, feel free to do that. He loves seeing all of those messages, especially if you've just picked up a bottle of Benchmark for the first time and wondering whether or not it's good.
Yeah, and if you could, don't take it home and stage it up nicely. Just take it out of the brown bag you bought it in, place it gently on your lap,
Yeah.
and with your steering wheel in the background, take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Absolutely. It's his favorite thing in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
You should totally make sure that he gets tagged in that. Anything else? Oh, yeah, Patreon. Patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can help support the show. For as little as $5 a month, you get bonus content like the pregame chats and the last call that comes out after every single episode. There's a huge backlog of bonus content that you can find over there. The last call it's fun. It's one of my favorite things that we get to do every week. And we're still kind of taking a break from it. We're going to ease back into it as we figure out what the quote-unquote new normal is with baby life. But, yeah, that does it. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for being a Patreon supporter if you are able to do that. And I think that does it for this week's episode. Next week, who's to say? Maybe it's going to be banked. Maybe we're going to be back. Maybe it's going to be that interview with Ken from New Riff. I don't know. We'll find out.
No clue.
Well, one way or another, we'll see you guys very soon. But until then, I'm Perry.
And I'm Swan.
And this is my Bourbon Podcast.